hormones are wonky. You need to get away, especially away from the emergency room. Take some time off. Lick your wounds. Heal. He dumped me, Maggie said. JC was clearly shocked. What? He broke up with me. He said he couldn't take it anymore. My emotional behavior, my many troubles. He suggested professional help. JC was quiet. I'm speechless, she finally said. What a huge ass. Well, I was crying all the time, she said, sniffing some more. If I wasn't with him, I cried when I talked to him on the phone. I thought I was okay with the idea of no children. I'm almost 37. I work long hours. I was with a good man who was just off a bad marriage and already had a child. I'll give you everything but the good man, JC said. He's a doctor, for God's sake. Doesn't he know that all you've been through can take a toll? Remove all the stress and you still have the miscarriage. People tend to treat a miscarriage like a heavy period, but it's a death. You lost your baby. You have to take time to grieve. Gospel, Maggie said, rummaging for a tissue and giving her nose a hearty blow. I really felt it on that level. When I found out I was pregnant, it took me about 15 minutes to start seeing the baby. Loving her or him. Not to beat a dead horse, but you have some hormone issues playing havoc on your emotions. Listen, shoot out some emails tonight. Tell the ones on the need-to-know list you're taking a week or two off. No one knows about the pregnancy but you and Andrew. You don't have to explain. Everyone knows about your practice, your ex-partners, the lawsuit. Frankly, your colleagues are amazed you're still standing. Get out of town or something. Get some rest. You might be right, Maggie said. These cement stairwells are killing me. JC put an arm around her. Just like old times, huh?
It's a goose. It's a goose. You see? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Snow. But Maggie had had such a lousy year, the weather barely crossed her mind. Last year had produced so many medical, legal, and personal complications that her practice had shut down a few months ago. She'd been picking up work from other practices, covering for doctors on call here and there, and working ER level 1 trauma while she tried to figure out how to untangle the mess her life had become. This, on her best friend and doctor's advice, was a much-needed break. After sending a few emails and making a few phone calls, she was driving to her dad's house. She knew she was probably suffering from depression, exhaustion, and general misery. It would stand to reason. Her schedule could be horrific, and the tension had been terrible lately. It was about a year ago that 2 doctors in her practice had been accused of fraud and malpractice and suspended from seeing patients pending an investigation that would very likely lead to a trial. Even though she had no knowledge of the incidents, there was a scandal and it stank on her. There had been wild media attention, and she was left alone trying to hold a wilting practice together. Then the parents of a boy who died from injuries sustained in a terrible car accident while on her watch filed a wrongful death suit against her. It seemed impossible fate could find one more thing to stack on her already teetering pile of troubles. Never challenge fate. She found out she was pregnant. It was an accident, of course. She'd been seeing Andrew for a couple of years. She lived in Denver, and he in Aurora, since they both had demanding careers, and they saw each other when they could. A night here, a night there. When they could manage a long weekend, it was heaven. She wanted more, but Andrew was an ER doctor and also the divorced father of an 8-year-old daughter. But they had constant phone contact, multiple texts and emails every day. She counted on him. He was her main support. Maggie wasn't sure she'd ever marry and have a family, but she was happy with her surprise. It was the one good thing in a bad year. Andrew, however, wasn't happy. He was still in divorce recovery, though it had been 3 years. He and his ex still fought about support and custody and visits. Maggie didn't understand why. Andrew didn't seem to know what to do with his daughter when he had her. He immediately suggested terminating the pregnancy. He said they could revisit the issue in a couple of years if it turned out to be that important to her and if their relationship was thriving. She couldn't imagine terminating. Just because Andrew was hesitant? She was 36. How much time did she have to revisit the issue? Although she hadn't told Andrew, she decided she was going to keep the baby no matter what that meant for their relationship. Then she had a miscarriage. Grief-stricken and brokenhearted, she sank lower. Exactly 2 people knew about the pregnancy and miscarriage: Andrew and JC.
My English is not great, but I try every day.
Every night. Sometimes she couldn't even wait to get home from work and started crying the second she pulled the car door closed. And there were those stairwell visits. She cried on the phone to Andrew, cried in his arms as he tried to comfort her, all the while knowing he was relieved. And then he'd said, "You know what, Maggie? I just can't do it anymore. We need a timeout. I can't prop you up, can't bolster you. You have to get some help. Get your emotional life back on track or something."
Hello. How are you today?
You're sucking the life out of me, and I'm not equipped to help you.
Thank you.
Are you kidding me? She had demanded. You're dropping me when I'm down? When I'm only 3?
I see. It's a new project. It's a Sonic. Crazy monsters. Crazy monsters.
weeks beyond a miscarriage? And in typical Andrew fashion, he'd said, "That's all I got, baby." It was really and truly the first moment she'd realized it was all about him. And that was pretty much the last straw. She packed a bunch of suitcases. Once she got packing, she couldn't seem to stop. She drove southwest from Denver to her father's house, south of Leadville and Fairplay, and she hadn't called ahead. She did call her mother, Phoebe, just to say she was going to Sully's and she wasn't sure how long she'd stay. At the moment, she had no plan except to escape from that life of persistent strain, anxiety, and heartache. It was early afternoon when she drove up to the country store that had been her great-grandfather's, then her grandfather's, now her father's. Her father, Harry Sullivan, known by one and all as Sully,
It's
was a
cute.
fit and hearty 70, and showed no signs of slowing down and no interest in retiring. She just sat in her car for a while, trying to figure out what she was going to say to him. How could she phrase it so it didn't sound like she'd just lost a baby and had her heart broken? Bo, her father's 4-year-old yellow lab, came trotting around the store, saw her car, started running in circles, barking, then put his front paws up on her door, looking at her imploringly. Frank Masterson, a local who'd been a fixture at the store for as long as Maggie could remember, was sitting on the porch, nursing a cup of coffee with a newspaper on his lap. One glance told her the campground was barely occupied. Only a couple of pop-up trailers and tents on campsites down the road toward the lake. She saw a man sitting outside his tent in a canvas camp chair, reading. She'd expected the sparse population. It was the middle of the week, middle of the day, and the beginning of March, the least busy month of the year. Frank glanced at her twice, but didn't even wave. Bo trotted off, disappointed, when Maggie didn't get out of the car. She still hadn't come up with a good entry line. 5 minutes passed before her father walked out of the store, across the porch and down the steps, Bo following. She lowered the window. "Hi, Maggie," he said, leaning on the car's roof. "Wasn't expecting you." It was spur of the moment. He glanced into her back seat at all the luggage. "How long you planning to stay?" She shrugged. "Didn't you say I was always welcome? Anytime?" He smiled at her. "Sometimes I run off at the mouth." "I need a break from work, from all that crap, from everything." "Understandable. What can I get you?" "Is it too much trouble to get 2 beers and a bed?" she asked, maybe a little sarcastically. "Core's okay by you?" "Sure." "Go on and park by the house. There's beer in the fridge, and I haven't sold your bed yet." "That's gracious of you," she said. "You want some help to unload your entire wardrobe?" he asked. "Nope, I don't need much for now. I'll take care of it." "Then I'll get back to work, and we'll meet up later." "Sounds like a plan," she said. Maggie dragged only one bag into the house, the one with her toothbrush, pajamas, and clean jeans. When she was a little girl and both her parents and her grandfather lived on this property, she'd been happy most of the time. The general store, the locals and campers, the mountains, lake and valley, wildlife and sunshine kept her constantly cheerful. But the part of her that had a miserable mother, a father who tended to drink a little too much, and bickering parents, had been forlorn. Then, when she was 6, her mother had had enough of hardship, rural living, driving Maggie a long distance to a school that Phoebe found inadequate. Throw in an unsatisfactory husband, and that was all she could take. Phoebe took Maggie away to Chicago. Maggie didn't see Sully for several years, and her mother married Walter Lancaster, a prominent neurosurgeon with lots of money. Maggie had hated it all. Chicago, Walter, the big house, the private school, the blistering cold and concrete landscape. She hated the sound of traffic and emergency vehicles. One thing she could recall in retrospect, it brought her mother to life. Phoebe was almost entirely happy, the only smudge on her brightness being her ornery daughter. They had switched roles.
Știu, probabil nu iubești reclamele și te înțeleg perfect.
By the time Maggie was 11, she was visiting her dad regularly. First a few weekends, then whole months and some holidays. She lived for it, and Phoebe constantly held it over her. Behave yourself and get good grades, and you'll get to spend the summer at that god-awful camp, eating worms, getting filthy, and risking your life among bears. Why didn't you fight for me? She'd continually asked her father. Honey, Phoebe was right. I wasn't worth a damn as a father, and I just wanted what was best for you. It wasn't always easy, neither, he'd explain. Sometime in junior high, Maggie had made her peace with Walter, but she chose to go to college in Denver, near Sully. Phoebe's desire was that she go to a fancy Ivy League college. Med school and residency were a different story. It was tough getting accepted at all, and you went to the best career school and residency program that would have you. She ended up in Los Angeles, and she did a fellowship with Walter, even though she hated going back to Chicago. But Walter was simply one of the best. After that, she joined a practice in Denver, close to her dad and the environment she loved. A year later, with Walter finally retired from his practice and enjoying more golf, Phoebe and Walter moved to Golden, Colorado, closer to Maggie. Walter was also 70, like Sully. Phoebe was a vibrant social 59. Maggie thought she was possibly closer to Walter than to Phoebe, especially as
Two friends. This is my best friend. Froggy, froggy. Froggy, froggy. Froggy, 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 froggy. Froggy, froggy, best friend. Oh. Froggy, froggy. My best friend. Froggy, froggy. Froggy, froggy. Froggy, 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 froggy. Froggy, froggy. Froggy, froggy. Hello. Da, da, da. Привет, привет, привет. Hello. How are you? You're okay? I will. Это я, Мария, вы меня понимаете? Да, помню. Помню, 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 помню. Помню, помню, конечно, помню. Как дела? Как дела? Все хорошо? У меня все хорошо. Нету таких вот. Все ровно. Thanks God. Мгм. Мгм. У вас как? Что нового? Мгм. Ту-ру-ру-ру-ру. Hello, you're back. Ничего, тоже хорошо. Значит, хорошо. Hello, you are back. Welcome. Все, пока-пока. Всего хорошего. Мгм, мгм, мгм. Та-ра, та-рай, 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 My coffee is here, as usual. So, coffee, no, little bit espresso. No, if I drink coffee. Without milk, I don't like. With milk, no. So how are you people? What happened? Where are you? I'm here to crochet, to finish the new project with my goose, with my froggy. I'm here. You see? It's a new friend. Goose. He's nice. Nice goose. Nice goose, nice goose. Enough. Leo. Little boy, little man. No, little man. No, big man, big woman. And here I have someone miss you. You can see. It's Alex. Alex, Alex. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Run away. Run away. Run. Mm-hmm. Okay. For you. Oh, bye bye. Fell down. I'm walking. Da, 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 Oh, so young. Hello, people. I have to do something. What to do? And here is my dog. My doggy doggy. My puppy dog. Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Puppy doggy, puppy doggy. Okidoki. Starting. Excuse me. You see, I have to put here like this and to fix it. It's a part of Mhm. You see. Have to fix it. I have to take all everything needs to be fixed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. What happened? Hmm? It's not good here. So I'm working. Okay. I think it's enough. Yes. Ay, 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 ay.